So I want to say how much I hate being misled. Even though I have done reality TV, I should know that they edit shit for their event, but I mean, come on. Seriously? Ray of Sunshines. I am your girl Talisa Ray, lifestyle coach. We are reviewing Married at First Sight season number 11, episode number 17, the finale, the final, the reunion show, the reunion episode. I don't know what they called it. Listen, if it's your first time visiting my channel, you should click the subscribe button right now, because I'm sure that there's something else I review that you would like. Click the notification bell and be alerted of when I upload new videos. Yes? Okay, so Kevin Frazier is our host. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, he sometimes is a little messy. And he sometimes get on my nerves. But you know, I'm all for the black man hosting the show. They are in separate spaces because of the pandemic. Kevin is wherever he is, and the cast is in New Orleans, New Orleans, however you say it. Okay, so let's start off with who we saw first. They gave us our favorite couple, at least a lot of us, let's go with 85% of us loved Amani and Woody and their dynamic. I just want to say she is glowing and looks so gorgeous in that copper bronzy color. Her hair, her natural hair is perfectly like sculpted. Like her makeup is flawless, and even her man looks good. I think she helped him, right? But they both have that like very loud style anyway. I was expecting them to be more coordinated given their personalities. He had on that same damn old pinky ring and them old shiny shoes. I don't know, they probably some kind of name brand, but he looked nice. I actually preferred his look with that little flower on his lapel. Loved his look. Okay, only thing I wanted him to do was close his shirt. Could you button that up? Like, why is that open? Woody, button your shirt up. Be buttoned up. At least one button. Like, my God, we saw your whole chest all the way to your damn navel. Anyway, that's not important, because your wife loves it, and that's all that matters. So the first thing they talked about was she was already trying to take his last name, honey. She was like, I already was trying to go down to the Social Security office to change and become Mrs. Randall officially. Not hyphenated, but Amani Randall. You hear me? Like, I got the paperwork done. All I need is for them to open up and let me do it. Woody was shocked and surprised and was like, yes, girl, because that's a big deal. Okay, I take your name, that means I'm in it. I'm about to file and change my name with the system. Okay, that means now I can go and get my driver's license. It'll say Amani. Like, that's a big deal. And if we keep it a band, I ain't even changed my name with my husband. Like, I mean, I told him, you know, I signed up for that I was going to take his name, but I never, ever, ever went and filed the paperwork. So what does that say? What does that say, really? So I forgot to say that what we're seeing is them 2 months after the ending of the show. So they've been married in total for 6 months. Kevin asked, okay, so now that the cameras are rolling, does he still have that same energy, that same passion? She was like, oh yeah, just the other day he gave me he made me one of them baths. Okay, he made me one of them love baths. He's the same. It has not changed, and that's always good to know that he's consistent and he's serious about their marriage. They showed us some bonus footage that we didn't see because we know the dynamic of their sexual relationship. He's more experienced than she is. And so in this footage, Dr. Viviana asks, you know, knowing the experience between the two, we know who's more experienced and who's not. How is that working? And who initiated the first time? Of course, it was Woody, because that's what men do. Women, we aren't always as aggressive until we know you, right? And so he was like, you know, you know, I'm going at her pace, and she said, I liked that he always asked, and that's how I knew that he would not overstep any boundaries. Dr. Viviana said, listen, right now it's all fun. Sex is great. You guys are excited. But for women, it's going to slow down. You're going to need a little more. So she recommends that you read 20 minutes of erotica every day. Every woman should read 20 minutes of erotica every single day. Baby, that erotica will have you hot and bothered and ready. I try and stay away from erotica because I ain't got nobody to help me with the needs except myself. But honey, that erotica, if you got some good stuff, bitch be thumping. Like, ooh, I'm excited. So I kind of like that recommendation. But Amani has not been doing that as of yet. It's not necessary yet. But when it is, I think she'll go ahead and embrace it. So, you know, the way they set that up, Kevin was like, okay, so you share everything with Amani, Woody, and I think that there's something that you wanted to tell her, you know, and he let us know ahead of time. He let production know ahead of time that he wanted to, you know, break some news to her on the show. And the way he was uncomfortable and fidgety, like you would think that they had never been together before and that he had never expressed how much he loved himself. I mean, loved her. So, because that's what made us think that, shit, he got some serious news. He had the disposition of a man asking for a woman's hand in marriage for the first time. Like, that's how serious this was for him. He got down on one knee and just expressed himself as we know that Woody knows how. And though we've seen him do it a million times and express himself, I was moved to tears. I know everybody ain't a crier, but baby, I am a hopeless romantic at my heart. I am very sentimental. I am an empath. And so I really felt like, oh my God, I didn't expect this in my wildest dreams. And oh, I love you and I can't see myself without you. And so I know that the show gave you a ring, but this ring is gonna mean so much more to you because I had it custom made, and it's gorgeous with little diamond baguettes around it. And then it's probably about 2 carats in total from what I could see. Y'all, do y'all know? It's probably about that gorgeous ring. So now she actually has an actual ring and a band. He was like, you know, I didn't think that I would get my life partner. And girl, I was just like, oh, we serious about this. Like, I was crying. Black love at its highest form. What we want to see, what it looks like. She was like, it's a fairy tale. This is a fairy tale. I would say it is. You meet a stranger, you fall in love, you get swept off your feet. I don't think a lot of us will have ever experienced that. I do know, because I went, you know, I normally don't look for them while the show is airing because I know that they cannot post anything while the show is airing. We would just be looking to be nosy at like what their life was before. But I can tell you now that they do have a YouTube channel called Woody and Amani Rando. I'm going to put the link down in the description box just in case you're curious and you want to go and check them out. Let us talk about Olivia and Brett. Well, they aren't even in the same space. Brett is at home and he's all like, for several reasons, one of which is because of COVID and the request of his job and the responsibility that he has to his government job about staying safe. Okay, we know you just really didn't want to be bothered with this shit, Brett. It's cool, and partly maybe COVID because you were visibly afraid of this whole situation. Rightfully so. Each of these couples, I didn't say it about Amani and Woody, but we look back at their relationship. I mean, we've seen it. It was nice to get like glimpses of and try and remember what it was 16 weeks ago. Kevin asked, well, what did you learn about yourself, Olivia, during this process? And baby, she said what she stands for. Finally, she's like, that I want someone who has no children, does not want any children. I was like, it's about damn time that you be honest about that. You don't want nobody with no kids. You don't want to have no kids. You don't like kids. You don't need no kids. Like, just live your life. And that's into me for me. When I'm looking at her face, she's upset. She's cold. I mean, she's emotionless. I think that's the thing that gets us about Olivia, is she's emotionless. It's like very stoic, very stone-faced, very, I can't read you. Where's your emotion? Where's your personality? And it just looks like you're upset all the time, Olivia. Even if you're not, that's how it comes off. Maybe a few more smiles, you know, get out of your head. Because that might not be what it is. Because I know I got BRF all the time. RBF, BRF, resting bitch face. Yeah, RBF. I know I have it. And I have to be mindful. That's me getting out of my head. And maybe that's just what it is for Olivia. Because they all seem to... I'm getting beside myself. When Kevin asked, well, is that true? Were you not into her? And he said, well, honestly, it was a lack of compatibility and chemistry from the beginning. And that they weren't incentivized. Like, there's no reason for me to really want to be with you. And one of you guys just said in the comments, which is true, it was over with the no kids and the whole house situation. At that point, they both were like, I'm good, it's cool, no problem. And we talked about it before. I always feel like they set them up for failure, because if she said she didn't want any children and he said that he did, then that's not a good match. And even if someone says I would consider it, that's still them not saying wholeheartedly that they are in it. So I feel like even though that's what she told Viviana, the no kids, we knew it was a deal breaker from the top. She also said that he told her when they broke up, you know, when over the phone, you weren't what I asked for in a wife. And I don't understand how she could really be upset about that, because she knows that she isn't. She knows that she doesn't want any children, and we could just stop right there. Then here's the trip part. She said that she knew that it would never get into an intimate place. Then why were you trying so hard and wanting to talk to the experts? Because intimacy is a huge part of your relationship on all levels. Spiritual intimacy, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy. Any intimacy is huge for every relationship. So I can't imagine why you would be upset if you knew it would never get to that point. That would mean you knew that your marriage would never work. And that you really just needed a platonic friendship from the jump just to go travel with. He said from the beginning he could see that she was inflexible, judgmental, and she had a strict criteria that he did not meet, and so he shut down from the beginning. And honestly, that's the energy she puts out. She puts out that she's not flexible, that she is passing judgment on him, even if she's not vocalizing it, that she's saying it, you know. And he might be reading some of it incorrectly or too much into it because of his own insecurities about his finances, but that is the way she comes off. And she called him an asshole, and people could see him as an asshole. Like, it didn't bother me any, but I also know I wouldn't have dated Brett. Like, I would have known, but then, I mean, in this experiment, you don't get to choose. So then there's that. But you know, and if you know what you know, then you either try and accommodate and work through it, or you just say, I'm out. He said, Kevin asked, have you been dating Brett? And he said, yeah, I've been on a few dates. Olivia busts him out. He's been on Tinder. I get all kinds of screenshots because he matches with my friends. I'm getting their messages. They're telling me what's being said. And I'm just, you know, she's like, I don't even know why why he was in the process. He wasn't ready to begin with. Maybe he didn't sign himself up. Maybe he got picked up, you know what I'm saying, like on the street or something. He said he really wanted to be married though. But she made a very valid point. Dating is expensive. Just think, even if you just go out for drinks, if you spend $40 a date and you have 5 dates in a month, that's $200 that you could have saved towards going on a trip. So what she said was, it was just me. And he just really wasn't ready. He just wanted to be on TV. All of that may be true. Okay, I can't even get mad at her analysis of how she feels about him. I can't, because when you put it that way, dating is expensive. unless you're doing like picnics and walks in the park and shit. But he trying to sleep with these women, so we know that's not what he doing. Okay, so that's enough of them for now. Let's go Amelia and Bennett. Regardless of what anything said, their body language together showed that they are together. The way that they touched one another, and you know, the chemistry that you could see through the TV together. I also wrote that Bennett looks so much more mature now than when he started in the beginning. I like him with the ponytail. I like to see his whole face. For him to be so quirky, I think he's very handsome. We also found out that the reason his tattoo looked the way it did was because his friend had done it. But when they zoomed in, it wasn't as bad as we originally thought. It wasn't as bad. It actually was like her initials AF with a crown or some shit on it. And it wasn't as bad as I initially thought. Let me say that, because I don't know, y'all might not have thought it was no kind of way. So we find out that that they've been very cautious because of course she's been working a lot with the pandemic being the first year. She's going into family medicine. The one thing I wrote down, we are more hygienic, and I was like, I hope so, because y'all was nasty. Specifically Amelia, you were nasty in New Orleans. Even though you were sweet as pie, we needed you to take more showers and not use his toothbrush. We also found out that he is now a solar consultant. We knew he wasn't going to just be sitting at home as no house husband. We knew that he was going to get a job. And as a resident, you know, she's not bringing in a whole lot of money. They wrote this song for Kevin Child. I was like, is y'all for real? But they was. You gotta love them for being who they are. Okay, so then we get to Christina and Henry. And though Henry always looks nice, I actually like him in this like powder blue jean, light jean blue suit. As in color, it wasn't jean. And you know, she's got on a copper dress as well. Probably could have been one size bigger, but because we were sitting in this satin, you know, it seemed really tight. But she was cute as well with her little highlights underneath the bottom of her hair. Kevin comes right out and asks Christina, hey, were you craving intimacy? Because that's what it looked like to all of us. She gonna say no. I mean, you seen it, I seen it. She wanted him to touch her, to hold her hand, to hug her, to kiss her. That is what she wanted. And for her not to admit it also shows that maybe she does have a problem with lying. But Henry says, you know what, I knew there was a problem early on. That's why I could not really connect with her. He found out that she was in a 5-year relationship prior to coming on to Married at First Sight, and that she had only been separated from them for 8 months. So how ready could you actually be to be in a relationship, to be married? See, they didn't tell us that. But we knew they wasn't going to work anyway because they was just too different. But the fact of the matter is, 8 months is a short time to really, especially coming out of a 5-year relationship. He would have essentially been her rebound. She should have just went on and had her a couple flings to make her feel better if that's what she wanted. And the fact that it was an unhealthy relationship, that it was toxic. Like, do the work. Heal. She let us know that, you know, since the show aired, that she's been hanging in Mexico, you know, because just to get away from all the negativity that is happening in the States around the show and what was being seen. And she's like, I'm seeing someone, you know, it's not serious or anything, but we're having fun. Did you have to mention that? Girl, that sounds crazy. Then Henry's all like, yeah, it's a lie. I ain't with nobody. Because I guess there's a rumor that he had a girlfriend. He was like, I don't have no girlfriend. But I'm willing. You know, people been in my DMs and I may have to take them up on that offer, but I'm willing. Okay, so let's talk about Karen and Miles rather quickly. So when I first saw them, I thought to myself, their body language is too relaxed for them not to be together. That was before they even told us that they stayed together. And Miles, baby, listen, can dress his ass off and looks hella good. Like, looks fit, looks good, clothes fit good. And most women like, you know, a tall man. You know what I'm saying? A man of stature, you know, that takes up space, that is confident. And that is what Miles gives us. And he looks good. I am not really a fan of what, I like Karen's hair, but I'm not a fan of what she has on because I can't really see what it is. She should have been matching his swag like she did for the finale. I mean, for the decision day. Girl's body was banging, dress was jamming. I feel like she should have had on something that we could have seen more of what she had on. But of course, she's a gorgeous girl anyway, so it's nothing is gonna really look bad on someone beautiful. Anyway, I've always said she was gorgeous, even though I don't like her voice, and I still don't like her voice. It's slow and draggy. I'm getting beside myself. So he asked her, do you feel like you were closed off during the show? And she said no, and I thought, how did you not think that you were closed off? She said, well, I'm really reserved anyway, and I just was cautious because I didn't feel like he was giving me his true self. Because she knew that she was frustrating him sexually, is what she pretty much essentially said, and I needed him to be honest about that. Like, I have needs, and this isn't working. Like, I need you, like, that's what she wanted. Where he was trying to coddle her and just, you know, be attentive and think of her needs and not to rock the boat, because he knew from when they did the thing on the refrigerator that she was rigid in her sexuality. And maybe it was the cameras, because they do look happy and blissful together now. They live together. They just, you know, put all their things together. They live together. And he said that his needs are being met when Kevin asked. All of my needs are being met. So that means intimacy is happening, that they are having sex. And like I just said a second ago, they look comfortable. They look happy. And that's all that I think anybody ever wanted. Was Miles was given so much like emotion and talking and caring and looking out for her, you know, and doing all the things that a lot of us as women, specifically black women, want in a relationship. And we were looking at Karen like, do you not see how great he is in front of you? And we weren't asking you to fuck. We were asking you to hold his hand, give him a kiss. Don't be so like, it was just, it came across as if you didn't like him. And listen, we deserve every good thing God has in store for us. That includes Karen, that includes Miles. They look happy. Now I know some of y'all gonna say they only gonna be together for a year, 2 years, and they gonna break up and say, well, we gonna wait and see. I mean, you can follow them on Instagram and find out, and then come roll back in a year or so and let me know what you find out, because I'm not that invested. Once this is over, if we don't see him, cool. Karen's mom loves Miles, where she was apprehensive before. She probably prefers her Miles over her own daughter. Okay, that's just how it be working. Cause she be calling all hours of the night and stuff, and he be listening and talking, you know, and having conversations probably, and laughing and shit, being a good son-in-law. The bonus clip was erased, and we saw that she probably would have won if she didn't fall. Let's just keep it banned. She probably would have won. When he asked, what did you learn about them? He said that she is courageous and shows up for them in the relationship. I could see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you remember in the beginning how I was like, I really want love for the two black women. Like, we deserve good black love. Hopefully that's what she's gotten. Hopefully that's what she's giving him. Well, listen, I know that that's what he's giving her, but hopefully she's giving that back to him. She said that he is resilient and competitive, and it shows up even when he's advocating for the two of them. As much flack that we gave Karen, I do want to say that I'm happy that she opened up and she realizes what she had, and that she understands that he's a good guy. And more so that there are a lot of women sliding up in them DMs and waiting for her to fail or to fuck up. They're gonna be there to catch him. But I don't think that she's gonna do that. I know I just told y'all how I know some of y'all think it's not gonna last that long, but it's to be seen. So then everybody gets together. Everybody gets together. Brett has opted not to show up on screen. Everybody's all like, oh, and then figures. I'm all like, they didn't like Brett at all. They didn't give him nobody is giving him any leeway. Woody is a good dude. He's all like, I checked on him. You know what I'm saying? Well, what did you talk about? I just wanted to see how he was doing, if he's living, if everything's okay. That's the right thing to do. Just because things didn't work out or he appeared to be very into him own self, he's probably a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the relationship with Olivia, y'all cannot hold him to that as a standard. And I know he fucked up, but I don't know. His friend said otherwise. Okay. Olivia said when she saw his behavior at the bachelor party that she was disgusted. Like, okay. And at that point she knew that, you know, he really wasn't ready, and it was like he wasted her time. He probably did, and you wasted his, because you want a travel companion. Y'all better stop just having that one-sided thing like that relationship failed only because of Brett. It is so not true. It takes two people to make a relationship fail or to make a relationship successful. Nevertheless, we get to see their little home tours for the couples that have stayed together. Amelia and Bennett, their house is cute and quaint. It's really like 2 rooms and a bathroom. But they had a bed, so I don't know, like we saw a living room, saw a kitchen, but then we saw a bed. Was the bed the couch? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand the dynamic of their house, but it was small and it was quaint. Then they showed us Karen and Miles, and I thought, oh, this looks perfect for them. Like, it's a big enough kitchen, because that's the thing that she does. She cooks, and she probably likes company and all kind of stuff. So they needed that kind of space to cook, to be able to entertain. You know, typical house. Cute photo of the two of them, because they do match. Like, they do look good together. Y'all cannot deny that. No matter how you feel about the way Karen treated him, you cannot deny that they do look good together. Then he said the best part, he goes outside and he's like 40 steps away, and there is where Woody and Amani live. Like, y'all neighbors? So I kind of wonder if Amani and Karen are friends now. Are they becoming friends? Are they building a relationship? I wonder. Anybody know? Let me know down below in the comments. They've got a 2-bedroom, and she's all like, I get my own closet, my whole full closet. Now I feel like his closet should be in the other room and her closet should be in the bedroom. But that's just my thoughts. She might have said, I'll take the whole room by myself, that way I can make a mess and it could be like a dressing room. So okay, y'all know me. Her only thing is that he plays music loud. Like, when he gets dressed, it's a full party. He seems like he's having a full party. And you know what? When he said that she doesn't judge him last episode, I thought to myself, at this point, she accepts him with his flaws and all. That is what unconditional love is. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to make you into something that you aren't. I'm not trying to stop you from being you. I'm embracing it and loving all of that. And that's what she's doing for him. Wouldn't you agree? So then we get to Christina and this text message again, and child, I felt bad for her. Henry, this is the most that we've seen him talk the entire season, like consecutively, like really giving his opinion and really running her the riot act, like really reading her for filth. And I just kind of felt bad for her, like, damn. And then everybody is looking and it's uncomfortable, it's a little bit embarrassing. She did put herself in that position, but I mean, he dug deep, and I hope he feels vindicated. Like, he dug deep. You saw Miles nodding his head when he said that she told people that he was gay. You saw Woody over there making them Woody faces, like, because we find out that they're friends. And, you know, she owned her part, though. She owned it and apologized and was like, it was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have said that. Then he went on to expose her, and we found out that the 5-year relationship was with a married man. You can see Amelia and Bennett were embarrassed by the whole conversation. She was crying, like, as confused and all over the place Christina is. I just felt like it was a lot, and it should have stopped. The berating of her should have stopped at some point. You should have had some compassion, Kevin, to stop it. Like, okay, the point has been made. You know, all of the blackmail and the, you know, the text message, and just, it was a lie. Just all of it was a lot. He said, you know, she said, if he doesn't accept my apology, I don't know what to do. Now, remind you, it's 2 months after filming has aired. And she had already apologized once, and she said, I've apologized to him, and if he can't see that that's sincere, I don't know what else to do. Leave it alone. Forgiveness is, an apology is more for you than for the other person. Whether they accept it or not, it has nothing to do with you. You accepted you took accountability, you accepted your part, and you apologized. And that is to free you. Hopefully, they accept it and it frees them too, but it's more to free you, right? And like forgiveness, if he forgives her, it's more to free him than her. Like he gonna walk around with this animosity and let it fester. What's the point? You've already spoke your piece, unless there's some truth to what she's saying. And if it is, so what? Like at this point, let bygones be bygones. Like I'm gonna acknowledge her apology, but I can't accept it yet. It's gonna take me some time. Okay, what you need, another 6 months? So Kevin asks about how this has affected, you know, going from private to public. And was it Karen that said the ladies love Miles? They be in his DMs and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, she was like, okay, so what do you want to tell them? And he was like, I'm married. Did he say I was happily married? Or did he just say I'm married? Anyway, he made it known that I was married so y'all could just like our photos and wish us well. Like, okay, I like that y'all like me. But I honestly don't think that Miles had a problem with meeting women. You know what I'm saying? He had been in, what, how many relationships? 10 or something he said? I don't think that he had ever had a problem with meeting women. I don't think that was ever an issue. But she's all like, let it be known, we together. They talk about Bennett was trending #3 at his wedding on the wedding day. I didn't know that. That's wild. And I can't really see why, except for the little cute bird gift or necklace that he got her. Like, he seemed really genuine and sweet. Oh, but it was the dirty socks. It was the socks. And we thought that he was going to be the nasty of the two of them, but it wasn't him. And he said, you know, honestly, none of this has any impact to my real life, my material life. These are people out in the ether. I don't care about them. I've been spotted one time like, oh, married at first sight. Other than that, nothing. Because he is not allowing it to affect him. He's living his life according to how he wants to. And really, that's what they all should be doing. And it should not be affecting them at all. But I could see how it can. Olivia was like, on social media, I'm not a fan favorite. No, ma'am, you're not. Smile a little, inject a little personality. You should have let us know who you were, because it just did not come across as who you're saying that you are or who your castmates saw you to be. Then he started asking a bunch of questions, okay? Like, let's make things lighthearted or whatever, and let's ask some questions about peeing in the shower. We already know I don't think you should be peeing in the shower. Pee before you get in the shower, and you won't have to pee while you're in the shower. That's how that works. Everybody raises their hand that it's okay except for Miles. He's like, I pee before I get in the shower. Boom, pee first, then go take a shower. Flossing 3 times a week. Is it okay not to? Nah. Everybody's like less than 3 or only 3 times a week or something. And everybody raised their hand like it's fine. That was for Woody, because Woody takes pride in his teeth. Gorgeous smile, right? Is it okay to fart or burp in front of your spouse, your mate? Them people who were saying no, give it a few more years. Give it a few more years. Sometimes it just happens, and it shouldn't, you know, you just say excuse me, because it is a natural body function. Y'all let me know how you feel about that down below in the comments. Be married for longer than a year. Get out of that honeymoon stage of 5 years or whatever it is, and watch how things change. And then they said, do you need to ask permission of your spouse to spend $500 or $1,000? Amani and Woody was like, yeah, no. If it's in the budget, then no. Everybody else was at 1,000, like, yeah. And here's my thing. I already told y'all how I feel about finances. One of the things is there's a house account that has nothing to do with my personal account, and as such, anything with my personal money is mine to do with. And as a house account, as long as I'm not digging in there talking about taking the $1,000 or the $500 out of the checking or the savings, then we good. Now, he said, share with me. He said also, okay, if your spouse spends the night out, No, they better let me know, because what are you spending the night out for? Are you going out of town? Is this for work? Are you staying at your mom's? Like, there aren't many reasons that would have you staying outside of your house as a married person. It's not many situations, and when those situations do occur, you do need to be sharing that. And then, can you have friends of the opposite sex? Absolutely. If I'm married and I'm committed to you, my opposite sex friends don't have no bearing on our relationship. If you are a cheat and always have been a cheat and were cheating before we got married, I shouldn't be married to you. That means I can't trust you if I don't think you can hang out with your homegirl that was before me. He asked if there was there any advice you could give to people who want to do this. Okay, this is the only time that I've ever liked Olivia. Like, really liked her. Like, this is who I wish she had been the entire time, because she was like, you know, well, I think it was about, would you do it again? And that's how the question came up, and she was like, yeah, or I don't know, shit, child. But all of it together was be your authentic self, and that she would do it again in hopes that she would be matched with the right person. Henry was like, after a long drawn out of, we knew he wanted to say no, this experience was like walking 5 miles on sharded glass. He said, I guess I would do it again. Like, no, Henry, it's okay to say, no, I wouldn't do this again, and I don't recommend it for anybody else. Karen says you can never really be prepared for what is happening. I still don't like her voice, but she was like, you see it on TV and you think, oh, it's, you know, you see parts of it and, oh, I can do it, but it's a lot more. And now I'm gonna have to give her that, because those little 2 or 3 episodes that I have been on, it is a lot of work that happens behind the scenes. And so you got to be mindful that they are going to, no matter how good you sound, they don't put things in context. They are going to splice things up, and you definitely have to be aware of that. Amani was like, I got lucky. So everybody ain't going to get lucky. I got lucky. That was, listen, that was long, and I had to make it long because we aren't going to be together in this capacity anymore. But we can be together on other shows, on other content that I have. You guys come back and check me out. Make sure you have clicked the notification bell so you can be like, oh, she's got something going on. Let me see what it is, because it's not the show that you liked. It's me. That's why you were here. Can I get an amen? Anyway. Thank you so much for watching the entire season 11 of Married at First Sight with me. I am so grateful. I think that we have made connections, because they are coming back in January, and it will be in the city of Atlanta. I'm ready. I'm here for it. I will be here in January reviewing, as long as the Lord says the same. If it's your first time visiting my channel, definitely click the subscribe button to become a ray of sunshine. Also click that notification bell so that you're alerted of videos when I upload them. Share this video, even though it's the last one. Like this video so the algorithms can keep us flowing and people can keep coming here. Yes? Yes. Last but not least, I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.